Listen. Hello, everybody. Oh, sit that end. We're just sitting out here today peacefully, or trying to. As you can see, I'm not entirely sure this is on camera, but Alfie is anyway. He wants to sit on my lap. Oh, heavy lump. We're attempting. Oh God. Right, sit down. Sit there. Oh God. Sit down. On here. On here. Can't sit on my lap because it hurts too much. Sit down. Sit down. Right, good boy. Good boy. Now today we're just going to the line really. I've previously cut down the shape from using the saw, and then using first of all number 6 karate rasp, taking it to within a millimetre or so of the line, and then I've sharpened my my black edition Victorinox Swiss Army knife to within an inch of its life, to bring not only to the line by shaving, but also to smooth out any rasp lines and to keep it parallel, since I'm no longer going to be, and we're getting some nice shavings off there, and that's lovely and smooth. You'll not get crispness of the edge line and smoothness of the curve, because you need to start at one end of a distinctive curve. So that's the start of the curve there, and you follow the whole curve through, which gives you, and you can feel if there's any aberrations in the curve, because one of the things about the French curve is it's a mathematical progression from one end to the other, and therefore it needs to be perfect. There's very little opportunity for error here, because whatever errors you make within this curve will be transcribed to every single thing that you subsequently make, so you don't want that. So using the knife, I can just see where the high spots are by dragging it across and following the line. I'm actually not only just keeping to the line, but also I'm keeping to the mathematical progression. There are this end. Now the problem occurs when you go, because these are multiple curves, when you're going to the edge of that curve and onto the transferring into the next curve, which is this one here, this outer curve, that transition needs to be almost seamless, and that's where the problems lie, because you can quite easily dig in. But it's important to follow the route. Now I started before, when I did this, to just use the very sharp edge to crisp up the very point at which the one curve transitions into another. So it's going from concave to convex. In that transition needs to be the crispest point ever, and I'm working very slowly down to that line, carefully, but also with ingrained boxwood you just have to be a bit careful of chatter. So I'm trying to feel the direction of the grain and see which way is best suited for shaving. That seems to be about right. So I've got to get all those. Saw marks and gouge rasp marks off at this stage, whilst at the same time coming to that line and following it all the way down. So I keep that mathematical progression, and it's once you get past those, nearly taking the tops off those saw marks, And it becomes easier as you get closer because you really are starting to smooth it out, and then you're working from smooth. But this type of blade is very thin at the end, and but it has to be stiff as well, because you don't want it to bend, otherwise you'll end up with a convexity to the edge. So very cathartic. Very relaxing, and you just have to be a bit careful. See here, it's very easy, but it's when you get to that curve there that it becomes a nightmare. So slowly but surely we're working round the periphery of this this French curve, and we hope to have this done this week. I'm taking it really carefully because I want it to be a worthwhile project for the auction. But yeah, coming along, isn't it, Alf? You want to give me a kiss now? Yeah? But he generally likes to get involved, so I should have kept him quiet, really, shouldn't I? But he's just coming up here to say good night, aren't you? This is where he likes to be, sitting on my lap. But after my operation, I can't have him because he's a few kilos, to put him mildly, of solid muscle, and sitting on my femoral arteries is not the best thing medically. Anyway, I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to switch everything off. See you later. Excuse me.